It's a snow day here in Georgia. We don't get a whole lot of pretty snow days like this, but it's been snowing for about 3 hours. They say it's going to snow all day. We'll see about that, but it is so pretty. It's like a winter wonderland. And a little while later, we will be going outside to make a snowman, a snow angel, maybe do some snow cream, all the things that you do on a snow day. But we're going to need our energy to do that. So I wanted to make something today for breakfast that I've been thinking about for a while. If you haven't saw her, Danna Standridge has an excellent cooking page. She's an excellent Southern cook. She makes a lot of great Southern foods, and one of them is her ugly biscuits. And I've been wanting to try those for some time. She has a great story going along with her with her ugly biscuits. I will post a link to her page so you can hear it yourself from her. But I'm going to try the recipe today. It's pretty easy. You're going to need just a few ingredients. Probably you have them on hand, so you won't even have to run to the store. You need a good cast iron skillet. Biscuits are made best in a cast iron skillet. Your oven needs to be on at 450 degrees. And I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of tablespoons of butter into my skillet. She says you need a lot of butter in the bottom of your skillet. So we're going to put a couple of tablespoons in the skillet, and I'm going to go ahead and put my skillet in the oven so that this can be melting. Mine's already heated up to 450 degrees, so it should not take long to melt that butter. I'm leaving that curtain open so you can continue to see the snow out there. It's very pretty. It's just a pretty snowy day. Now, Danna loves Pampered Chef too, and she loves her batter bowl. This is an amazing mixing bowl. It has great pour spout. It has your measurements on the outside. And Danna leaves a party open so that if somebody wants to order a batter bowl or anything else, that they can order through her party. So I'm going to also link that in my post so that if you happen to want to pick up a batter bowl or anything else from Danna's party, you could do that. So let's start first with flour. Danna says to use 2 cups of self-rising flour. That's self-rising, not all-purpose. So I'm going to dip out some flour. This is a 1 cup measure. There's 1 cup. You could actually use the measurements on your bowl even if you wanted to, if you have a mixing bowl that has the measurements on the side. Okay, there's 2 cups of self-rising flour. Now there is kind of a trick to this. The milk you're going to use 1 cup of milk. So let me pour out 1 cup. This is just regular milk. You can use whatever you have on hand. If you have buttermilk, you can use that too. We're going to use 1 cup of milk and 1 tablespoon of vinegar. So if you use buttermilk, you won't have to use the vinegar. I do not have buttermilk, so I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of vinegar into my milk and just stir it a little bit. And we're going to let it set for just a minute. It kind of helps thicken this milk a little bit. I'm just going to let it sit here for 1 second while I take my spatula and I'm going to make a well in the middle of my flour. And I've got 1 stick of melted butter. I'm going to pour into that well. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my milk. And then we're just going to stir this together. Danna says just to stir until things are kind of mixed together. It doesn't matter if it has a few clumps, it's okay. But just get everything combined. So let's get that going. You need a lot of energy for that snow play So I thought, well, we need to make some biscuits and gravy before we go out to play, or maybe we'll go out to play and come back in and eat, because we're going to be really hungry after we've gone out to play, right? I think this needs a little bit more flour. It's a little runny, so I'm going to go ahead and add just a little more flour. They need to be a little bit runny, because here's the thing. We are not going to roll these out and cut them out with a biscuit cutter. We're just going to pour this into our pan. I'll show you. My skillet is melting that butter in the oven at this moment. Yeah, this looks like a good consistency. They're not too runny, but they're not too thick. Okay, so let me go over to the stove and I'll get out my skillet with the melted butter. Hang on one second. Yes, it's ready. All right, so there, my skillet is ready. I'm just swishing that extra butter around just a little bit. Danna says it's okay to have some butter in the bottom because you're going to have good buttery bottoms on your biscuit, and they're going to brown really well, especially if you're using an iron skillet. That helps them to brown really well, but they're just going to taste even better with butter in the bottom of the skillet. All right, so now we're just going to take this this bowl and pour these biscuits into my skillet, just a little at a time. I believe this is why they're ugly biscuits, because you're just pouring them in there. You're not making them look pretty. You haven't rolled them out, but you know what? Ugly or not, they're going to still taste delicious. Danna said to fill up that bowl, fill up that pan. Doesn't matter if they're touching. All right. There we go. We have a pan full of ugly biscuits, as Danna calls them. There we go. I'm going to put this into the oven, and I'll come back when I take them out of the oven so you can see what they look like. Okay, I've got the ugly biscuits out of the oven. So this is the thing you do when you don't feel like rolling out the biscuit dough and you don't want to take the time to cut them out and you're kind of in a hurry. You just want to get something on the table. So these are perfect for just such an occasion. Or if it's snowing outside, like it is today in my town, and you want to get some breakfast done so that you can go out and play in the snow and come in and get breakfast quickly. So I'm going to cut out one of these biscuits. So you remember I just dropped them in, and they're kind of hot. But here is one of Danna's ugly biscuits. Look how they look on the inside. They're crunchy on the bottom because they've got that butter. Look, the bottoms of them. Oh, they're so pretty on the bottom. Let me take a taste. They're delicious. I love that crunchy bottom. And they'll be so good with biscuit, with gravy and sausage and bacon and eggs. Y'all, give Danna's ugly biscuits a try. Give her page. If you haven't already seen her page, go check it out. And I'm going to post some links for you so you can find her easily and find her recipes along with her delicious biscuits. Bye, y'all.